Hey guys, apologize for my voice in this video. I'm feeling a little sick today, but I wanted to get on here and talk about the news that a Superman sequel to the 2025 film is coming in just 2 years, which means that they're going to start filming this thing pretty damn soon. And I wanted to give my thoughts on that. I'm conflicted, and I have an unpopular opinion that will not placate the Snyder cultists nor the DCU fans. And so I'll tell you what those two thoughts are. The first thought is, I think I love Superman 2025, and this movie deserves a sequel, and I want to see this movie. Okay, so I'm going to love this sequel, most likely. I love the first one, and I want to see a sequel to this movie. Okay, so that's pretty much as simply as I can put it. Now to the more controversial view, I guess, which is my second point, which is that I don't think they should be making this movie right now. Why do I think that? The reason why is because what we have to understand is that DC fans are in a very precarious situation right now, which is that WB and DC lost billions of dollars and a lot of brand reputation with the last DCEU. Now, I say this as somebody that liked Batman v Superman and Man of Steel and all these movies, but they were not critically revered, and especially towards the end of the DCEU, it got really ugly with Birds of Prey, and, I mean, movies were making $300 million, $200-something million. It was during COVID, but they were not doing well. Okay, so this is the dichotomy that people don't get, is when people say, well, this movie made less than Man of Steel did. Okay, but Man of Steel came after The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. It came off, Batman films were making $1 billion. Avengers was making $1 billion or close to it. That was at the first peak of the comic book movie craze. And we're not at that peak right now. Fantastic Four is going to do less than Superman will. Superman is going to end in the 620, 630 million range. Right now, it just crossed 610. It's already on digital, so it's not going to go that much further. It's probably going to end at around 620. Okay? So it's getting pulled out of theaters right now. I thought it was going to do a little better, to be honest. I thought it was going to do 700. I was never one of the people that said it was going to hit $1 billion. I knew that wasn't going to happen. I thought it would do a little better, though. I really thought it was going to be more in the 700-800 range. Okay, so that's fine. This movie is going to lose WB a bit of money. We're talking tens of millions, not hundreds of millions. Okay, so it's not really a loss because you put it on streaming. It's going to make money on streaming. People are going to buy it on iTunes. And, of course, these movies are super evergreen. I mean, they still make money on Man of Steel and the Dahmer movie. I mean, these movies print money for eternity. So it's not just about the box office. It's not just about, well, they spent $700 million on marketing and the budget and promotion, and it only made 620 at the box office, so they lost money. It doesn't really work that way because they're making money on the back end and also with merchandise and things like that, right? But you would like it to be in the green. These studios make money, make movies to make money. This is a business for them, and they want to make $1 billion on these films. And Superman really underperformed at the international box office, which is the main concern that I have. And so my view is that I don't think that we should be rushing a Superman 2, because what we have to understand as DC fans is that we're in a very precarious position, which is that we're coming off the heels of the DCEU, which really tarnished the brand of DC. Now, I love Batman v Superman. I love Man of Steel. But towards the end of the DCEU, it got really ugly. I mean, you're talking Flash bombing at the box office. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey bombed. You had Blue Beetle, which is actually a good movie, by the way. But, I mean, that bombed. I mean, it was just a disaster towards the end, which is why you can't compare Man of Steel to this movie. This movie is doing damage control for a damaged film brand. And frankly, just a damaged brand in general. And so, also, we're in a bit of a slump with the comic book movies in general. Again, Fantastic Four, not doing well. So, the problem is WB and DC are looking at the money of the situation. And so they're looking at how much money is this property going to make for us? Is this going to become a new MCU where we're going to have billion-dollar hits? We're trending up to the right in terms of profit, in terms of audience reviews, ticket sales. And if so, they're going to keep this thing going. They're okay to lose money on an occasional movie if the general universe is going up and to the right. But what's the problem? The problem is next year we have Clayface and Supergirl, which are not going to be box office hits. They're not going to be billion-dollar films, which is fine. They're not designed to, and their budget's not nearly as high as Superman's was. But fundamentally, I think what Zasloff and the suits and the investors and the board of directors, again, this is a business. We're talking about this as fans on YouTube. We're talking about this as movie reviews. You know, that's not what the suits are talking about. They're talking about money. They're talking about input in, money out. What is that equation? Okay. And what they want to see is a $1 billion hit. They want to see, like the MCU had a couple years in, they weren't hitting $1 billion early, but a couple years in they were. They're going to want to see by 2027, 2028, $1 billion picture. And is Superman Man of Tomorrow going to hit $1 billion? Very unlikely. It would be pretty unprecedented and surprising for a movie, for the first movie to get 600 and the sequel to get $1 billion. It's not impossible. It's not likely. Okay. So what we need as fans, and again, I want to really stress this point because this is core to my argument here. If this universe has Clayface, it makes 400 million, Supergirl makes 500 million, and then Superman 2 in 2027, after those two movies in 2026, maybe it makes 600 700 million, let's say. So you're not really looking at a high degree of profit in this universe. Sorry, I gotta let this in. You're not looking at a universe that is just printing money. And my concern is that WB and DC are gonna look at this and say, is this just the DCEU all over again, and pull the plug? That's what we have to be careful about. So my opinion, which is the same for the video games, and I'm a broken record on this, I think you bring in Batman quickly into this universe. I understand you have the Batman 2, but you've got to get Batman in here to print $1 billion. And by the way, I think Brave and the Bold will do better than the Batman, to be honest. This is what we need. And not only that, maybe it's Flash that can do $1 billion. I don't know what it is, but they need $1 billion movie, and Superman doesn't have the international appeal right now to do that for various reasons. And so I'm excited. I'm going to get the movie. I can't wait to see it. But I have concerns, and I just want to make sure this universe makes money so that we have it for 10 to 15 years to come.